Hello everyone, welcome to the Flamino Experience. My name is Douglas Flamino and today I'm going to show you how it went. And what was the result of me spending 30 days on a cutting on a fat loss diet. Before this video continues, leave a like here to help out. My serious work makes a big difference and this is a video that can help a lot of people. I think it's really worthwhile. You'll be helping this video get shared. But also leave the most important comment you can leave here, which is few rondas. Well, let's explain for those who have never heard this term before. Cutting is basically cutting. It's basically you cutting calories so you can lose body fat. Well, if there's a guy who's experienced in dieting, that guy is me. I've already tried several types of diets, so this would just be one more diet with a different kind of result. And I wanted to record it here, so I went there. What's the first thing we need to start a fat loss diet? Take measurements to know how much we've lost after doing the diet. The one who came to take my measurements was my nutritionist. I recommend that if you can, if you have the means, use a nutritionist to create your diet, use a nutritionist to take your measurements, to do the bioimpedance test. So my nutritionist came to my house and took my measurements, both with the caliper, which is that little pinching tool, and with the bioimpedance test. And she uses a combination of both to be more accurate. And then, by doing this analysis of my body and everything, we can find out the most important thing you need to start a diet, which is your basal metabolism. So I found out my basal metabolic rate, which is the number of calories I burn normally, like just standing here, my body is burning calories. And then we calculate approximately how many calories I burn in a day, to create a diet based on those calories. Based on that expenditure, if you want to lose weight, you consume fewer calories than you burn, and if you want to gain weight, you consume more calories. It's that simple. Got it? Now all that's left is the diet, but this time I didn't make the diet with my nutritionist. Look at this. How unusual. My nutritionist came to take my measurements, but I wanted to make my own diet. Why? I've already done diets with her several times. The diets work really well. She makes diets based a lot on what I like to eat, so even then, they're not difficult diets. But I wanted to make the diet like this, very detailed, with what I like to eat the most, to make it really easy. And since I've already done the diet with her several times, several types of diets, I kind of got used to it a bit. I created my own diet. But I'm absolutely sure that if I had asked Mel, my nutritionist, to create my diet, it would have turned out better than mine. Better that way in terms of performance, in terms of final results, better. But I was really interested in making a diet that I really want to eat. A diet to follow for a longer time, not just for 30 days. So I followed a diet that was very easy, and I'm going to show you my diet here. Now this is my diet, the one that's showing on the screen. I chose these meals strategically with this amount of protein, this amount of calories. It's all marked right there on the side, and man, this diet is really simple for me. It's almost a habit now for me to eat everything that's included in it. But now I did this in a more disciplined way, counting, weighing without increasing the amount, without reducing the amount. I decided that this month I would do everything right. So I would follow every detail of the diet exactly to see what kind of results it would bring. Since it's a very easy diet for me, it doesn't even have a very high deficit. I didn't do an extreme diet, so if you came to this video looking for an extreme diet to lose weight fast, okay, just leave the video, because that's not the case here, alright? I think I have about 380, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's 380 calories of deficit per day. So I wouldn't have an ultra spectacular result at the end of the month like a bodybuilder. My plan isn't to get on stage. So I don't need an extreme diet, especially because I wanted a diet that would really help me maintain my muscle mass. I didn't want to do a 30-day diet and lose, I don't know, 6 kilos, but also lose muscle mass. So I made a small deficit there so I could really maintain my muscle mass, so I could still have a really good amount of protein. I don't know if you noticed, but it's a very high protein diet. I set it at about 2.4 grams of protein per kilo. Well, my meal preps just arrived here to help me stick to my diet. It makes things a lot easier if you meal prep or if you buy meal preps, which is my case, right, since I'm not really a fan of cooking. So I buy the ready-made meal preps. Well, to get straight to the point, I'm just going to show you the meal preps. There are only two types of meals. I like to keep my meals really simple. I have no problem at all with repeating meals. Soy meat with mashed potatoes and vegetables, which are broccoli and carrots. I'll show you a closer look. And my other lunchbox, which is just mashed potatoes, scrambled tofu and broccoli. Well, that's it. Now I just have to leave them here in the freezer and I have my lunch boxes ready. In this case, it's for a week. I buy it every week. It's lunch boxes for the whole week for lunch and dinner. And the scrambled tofu, which helps with my breakfast and afternoon snack. Alright, so let's go. What was usually my first meal of the day? I say usually because it wasn't fixed. Sometimes it was the last one. It really depended on what time I woke up. It's my protein shake, and here are its ingredients, the protein I use. From Growth. I choose the unflavored one because I prefer to create the flavor myself. Here I'm using red fruits, actually just frozen strawberries and blackberries. I use 80s, I love 80s, it's really good. After everything is blended in the blender, it makes about half a liter of drink right in the morning, and look at how creamy it is. That's crazy, man. And now let's go to my breakfast, which is with smoked tofu. I cut slices of it until I get the right amount of grams. And meanwhile, the coffee is being made over there, right? And for this meal, I kind of make a little snack with 18-grain bread, and before putting the tofu on, I add a spoonful of hummus. For those who don't know what it is, it's chickpea paste on top of the chickpea paste. I add my diet hack there, which is nutritional yeast, and every 2.5 tablespoons has 11.9 grams of protein. That's crazy, man. I paid 79 reais for a kilo of that. That's my breakfast, one of my favorite meals. Obviously, I would eat twice as much, but it's okay still. It's a very tasty meal, very high in protein, and let's go to lunch. My lunch is a little plate, about half a kilo. It really fills me up. It's my biggest meal, kind of in terms of grains. It's just like dinner, but it leaves me more satisfied and also has a lot more protein. It's my meal with the most protein. My afternoon snack is the same as breakfast, so I'll skip it and go straight to dinner. Dinner is this meal. It also weighs about half a kilo, but it's much lighter than lunch and has less protein too, but I really like it. During these 30 days, I decided that I wouldn't miss a single meal. I wouldn't skip. I wouldn't have any cheat meals or anything like a free meal. Nothing. Why? Because the diet for me was already pretty easy and I wasn't on a big calorie deficit, so I didn't need to do that kind of thing. And I wasn't gonna feel like it either. So I said, man, I'm gonna follow everything exactly right because I already made it easier when creating the diet, and then comes the training part. Regarding the workouts, I would keep training the way I normally do at the gym. I train every other day. It's not much if you stop to think about it. It's 4 days a week, it's pretty little. But when I go to the gym, I do a really good workout. I go to the gym to really train, so I always do mobility training. I do the workout very properly. I really value trying to do the exercise execution correctly. I don't have a big ego to want to increase the weight. Lately, I've been writing down my periodization so I can make my weight progressions, and I do some cardio on the treadmill after my workout. When it comes to training, there might be better workouts than mine, better workout splits, better frequencies during the week. For sure, but I do what I can stick to consistently. I can train every other day with a lot of consistency, following this very disciplined. So I think that's very important, to stick to what I can maintain, the consistency, because I don't like to train seriously. I still don't find it enjoyable to go to the gym. I used to hate it, you know, it used to be the most dreadful moment of my day, but nowadays it's not like that anymore. Nowadays I just say, okay, going to the gym, but it's not enjoyable for me. So to be able to keep up this consistency of always going, I said I'll go every other day and see how I feel about it. I got good results and still managed to keep up that consistency. So it was a training split like A, B, C, D, E, which I found really interesting, and I'm going to keep following it. And some things happened during the month that could have been seen as obstacles, but I was really disciplined and I said, man, I'm not gonna mess up. I'm gonna do everything right. So I didn't stop being social. I didn't stop going out with my friends, even to coffee shops and restaurants, which are places my friends really like to go together. And I went.
I'm here today at a coffee shop. Bruna invited me here. Hey.
So I came.
All the friends, everyone.
And I'm not gonna stop being social. Because of the diet, I came just to have coffee. Literally just to have coffee, because I can't eat anything here since I don't know the calories, I don't know the amount of protein. But I'm still hanging out with my friends today, right? With Palado here.
I'm Palado too, man.
And look at the mischief, right? Today when I can't eat anything outside my diet, Nick comes and makes a new recipe. Look how beautiful this is. There will always be things like this.
It's here to stay.
Ah, cool. So I'll eat this in about 25 days. And this is Caneca Cafe, for those who don't know, one of my favorite coffee shops. Look at the food here. Oh, this Oreo cake is good. The best Oreo cake I've ever had here, the best you've ever had in your life. You'll remember it for life because it's not too sweet to make you sick. It's perfect. You can eat the whole thing, the whole cake. When I finish cutting, this will be the first thing, this one too. Look, and no one has eaten yet because he's recording here. I'm on take 40, take 40. Either I ate before going to the place if I knew I was coming back quickly, or I took what I had to eat. Whether it was lunch or an afternoon snack, I was always able to do that. It wasn't a problem during that time. Outside of this 30-day experience, I would do exactly that. No, I would make exceptions and eat with my friends at restaurants. But during this 30-day period, to show you the effective results, I followed it 100% strictly. One thing I noticed over the past month, which is a bit discouraging, I think the most annoying part was that you don't have the same strength during your workout as when you're eating a lot. Since I was eating less every day in a calorie deficit, my strength dropped in some exercises. In some exercises I was able to maintain the weights, but in others I couldn't, not even to keep the form right. Do you really feel the loss of strength happening? Here I am, getting ready to go train, packing everything I'm going to take because to record it's a bunch of stuff. Camera, tripod, and the clothes I'm going to train in. I always have three options here: my camera stuff, microphone, and everything else, charging the other battery, and here my clothes. I always have these three options. And why do I say three options? Because I have several of these t-shirts, because I only wear gray, black, white, and it's my favorite brand ever. Almost saying it's the best brand in the world. Man, insider clothes for working out, you know, I don't want to say anything, it's not irreplaceable, so let's see which t-shirt I'm going to wear today. Well, I could go with white, but I don't think I'm going with white. Actually, off-white isn't really white. I don't think I'm going with white because I want to save this one for going out. This is one of my favorite shirts from Insider. Even though you see me most of the time wearing a black t-shirt or a gray t-shirt, I'm not sure why, but this shirt fits my body better, highlights my shape, and is more fitted. I probably picked this one in extra small. Usually I wear small, but this one must be extra small because look, it's really tight. Oh no, man, the black one is the best for working out. I don't know why, but I always go with the black one. Well, but just a quick reminder, I have a coupon at Insider. If you want, use Flamino12, you'll get a little discount on your purchases, and all the shirts have the same technologies. It won't smell bad, it smooths out on your body, it's thermoregulating, it has all these features. That's why I think they're really good for working out and for all other activities, right? I use them for sleeping, going out, and working out. It's multi-purpose because it works for everything now. Obstacles that happened during this 30-day period. My friends got sick, really sick. Samuel got dengue, Andressa caught a really bad flu, and I think Andressa ended up passing the flu to me. But she was feeling bad for several days and I got better the next day. But there were 2 days when I didn't want to train, and because my immunity was low, my throat was messed up. I said, man, I train hard, I go there to train hard. If I do this, I think it might mess up my immunity a bit, so I'm going to rest. So it was a period where I went 4 days in a row without training. That must have changed my daily deficit a little bit because I always count my calories already, including the calories burned from a workout, right? But in the end, I don't even know how much it really affected things, but it must have been almost nothing. And the other obstacle was in my last meal. What happened in my last meal? I said, man, I'm going to this self-service place and I'm going to roughly calculate how much protein I'm going to get. I had gone out to eat and the next day I was already going to do the measurements. The 30 days had already passed, right? But in my last meal, I said, man, I'm gonna have a different meal here because I know it wouldn't make a difference, right? Besides, I wasn't going to have a super high calorie meal or anything like that, and I calculated it on average. When you're really used to dieting, you know about how many calories are on your plate and roughly how much protein you have too. But it wasn't worth it. Why? Because when I made a substitution, I thought like this, okay? It has to have about this amount of protein and calories. I'm going to count below so I don't go over my calorie number to be absolutely sure that I kept a deficit. And it's not really worth it. I much prefer it this way. When you know it's just right, you know how when we eyeball it, we're not sure. You end up guessing lower and end up eating less, you get hungry and all that. I was really happy with the results. I lost a little more than 2% body fat in these 30 days. A lot of people will think that's not much, like, oh man, you lost 2-point-something% just in 30 days of dieting. Yeah, but I'm not going to do this diet for only 30 days and look how interesting this is. I maintained my muscle mass. I didn't lose muscle mass during this period when I was eating less. This is very common to happen, so my dietary strategy worked. It's a diet that I can stick to. Consistency is pleasant for me. I didn't lose muscle mass on a cutting diet and I still lost my 2% body fat, 2-point-something% body fat, man. I was really happy. For me, it was a total success. Now I'm like this, my body is more defined naturally without me having to force it. A few more abs show up and when I flex, it looks much better. That's it. The biceps like changed more visually than in size. The biceps are getting more defined. Look, the skin is really thin here, but the skin on my stomach isn't as thin, though it still got better. You can see the line here on the side more. The serratus is better too, if I'm not mistaken. It's the serratus. No, this is the oblique, right? The biceps and shoulder are showing nicely, see? So, we've had considerable improvements. Just from the back, I'm never really that good, right? My back is like a gorilla's, it's my weak point, which I have to work on. Look, the quadriceps are looking good too. I managed to maintain muscle mass. I'm super happy. This was the result of a light cutting. And I think I'm gonna stick to this diet for another month. To get below 10% body fat, then I'll try a bulking diet, which is the opposite of this one, right? It's for muscle gain, so I'll get my strength back. Oh my god, that's good. Regarding the supplements I use this month, creatine, I take about 6 grams of creatine a day, zinc monomethionine aspartate, which is a good supplement, also the protein shake, right? Oh, and B12, right? Because I'm vegan. And vegans supplement with B12 and a little B complex pill to give an extra boost. And my pre-workout is coffee, black coffee, because if I take a pre-workout supplement, nothing happens. I don't feel anything different because of things that those who follow the channel know about. Well, that's it for the video. If you like this video, if you enjoyed seeing my diet, leave a like on the video and leave a comment. If you've had experience with a cutting diet, if you have any diet hacks to improve performance and all that, leave a comment. People pick up information from the comments. There's a really close-knit group here in the comments who talk a lot with each other. See you in the next experience.